Hey everybody, this is Sahar from Just a Girly Talking Wrestling. It's been a long time, guys, a very long time, and I'm sorry for the absence. A lot of things happened in my personal life that made it difficult for me to record. One of those things was losing my best friend, my roll dog, my wrestling watch buddy, my entire life, and that was my dad. He passed away a couple months ago, and it's been super difficult for me to even watch wrestling because that's something he and I did together. It was our thing, so it's just been hard. I've been keeping up on Twitter, but yeah, so my dad passing just took over my whole life. It's something that I struggle with every day. Again, he was my best friend. He was my whole life. I took care of him for the last 5 years when he got sick, and yeah, it just sucked. So, every day by day, it's a struggle. But again, I know how much he was how proud he was of me to start this podcast because he knows how much of a wrestling freak I am and how much I love talking about wrestling. So I know he would be excited for me to do this. He would, however, be super pissed that I'm doing a video a video podcast. This is my first time ever doing it, and I could only do it when he passed. So there's that. But he loved that I was doing this pod. He loved, we would both get so excited when I had 20 views on a video. It was really exciting for us. So I definitely wanted to continue it. I'm getting back into the whole wrestling thing. And also, I never did a video podcast because I live in a studio. You can see my dead flowers. So I have a really small space. I live on a busy street, so you might hear cars honking at each other. But yeah, so that's the reason for my absence. It's been 86 days since I last posted, I think. And in those 86 days, my dad's health really just took a huge turn. And it was super difficult for me to just continue or even have the energy to continue. After leaving the hospital or the rehab center, I was so mentally drained, I just couldn't do it. But now I'm getting back in the swing of things, watching wrestling. I went to AEW Revolution, which was so much fun. I'll talk about that a little bit because I have a lot to say, especially about AEW. But this might be my shortest episode because, I was just getting back into the swing of things and trying a video podcast for the first time. So we'll see how it goes and see if it works out or not. I've recorded before, but again, I don't know what I'm doing because this is the first time ever. So bear with me, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, let's just jump into it. WrestleMania weekend is not going, or the week building to WrestleMania is not going how I wanted it to go. It has been so poor. As a CM Punk girly, as a girl who will defend CM Punk till the day she dies, the whole favor thing got on my last fucking nerves. Do I love CM Punk and Paul Heyman being together? Absolutely. Who doesn't? We all remember that run when Paul was with Punk. It was incredible. I love that. But it's now a fight over Paul. This stupid Seth now you owe me a favor. How many favors does Paul Heyman have to owe people? I need to know this because I need it to end so badly. Because it just makes no sense. I get it. It's intriguing to some people, not to me, at all. I could give a shit less about the favor. I could give a shit less about Paul Heyman's involvement. I think you have 3 incredible superstars. Well, you have 2 incredible superstars in Roman. And you can build so much with that story. And I just feel like it's fallen so flat. It's hard to watch. I'm not invested. Will I still watch? Absolutely. Who wouldn't still watch? I'm watching WrestleMania. Another story I'm not really invested in is Gunther and Jay. Sorry. Even though Gunther practically murdered Jimmy on television, it was, and Jay came out with a really emotional promo talking about his mom. I get it. Trust me, guys. I do get it. I think it's just falling flat. The only thing that's not falling flat is Charlotte and Tiffy, but because there's like real bad blood there. And that SmackDown promo made me very uncomfortable. Whoever went off script first, I think that's who should be blamed. And I know a lot of people online were saying, oh, well, Tiffy needed to get in trouble for that. If Charlotte went off script first, why can't Tiffy go back and protect herself? That's something I don't understand. I think it's a cheap shot after Charlotte came out saying she's been having struggles, mental health struggles, I don't know what kind of struggles, dealing with her divorces and being compared to her father. I totally understand that. It is, in a sense, a fair game kind of situation. I don't know. Anyway, I do think that is a low blow. I just have to say, and I know this might get me in trouble, but Charlotte seems to have a lot of problems with a lot of female wrestlers, and the common denominator is Charlotte. She has done things, she's had personal problems with other female wrestlers that have played out, and they haven't been good. I'm just saying she's the common denominator, so maybe we should look at Charlotte a little bit instead of criticizing Tiffy as much as everyone is. That's all I'm saying. WrestleMania week has not been good. The builds have been terrible. It does not feel like it's WrestleMania season. Even the Cody and Punk stuff, I don't care. And that's so sad, but I'm invested in zero stories of what's going on. I really could give a shit less. And that's sad. I should give a fuck. I don't. That's a little sad. But don't get it fucking twisted. I think AEW's in the shitter too. Okay? I think both companies look so bad right now in terms of booking. Because let's get into it. Because I'm fucking pissed the fuck off. And I'm going to start off by saying this. Anytime I criticize AEW, I have to start off by saying I want AEW to succeed. AEW is so important to the wrestling business. There are people who want AEW to fail. Those are not real wrestling fans. Those are people who just want to be a troll. I personally think AEW is super important for their business. I think it's showcasing a lot of people who have incredible talent that necessarily would never have gotten a chance in WWE. That being said, AEW is stupid as fuck for doing 2 pay-per-view main events back to back with the shittiest main event. When you make a shitty main event like that, it outweighs the entire pay-per-view. And let me just say this, AEW pay-per-views to me are untouchable. They showcase such amazing matches. There'll be some 1 or 2 that are just okay, but 90% of the show is incredible. Even take Chris Jericho out of it, but even like the pre-show, the 0 hour, whatever they call it, great matches. But when you consistently make stinkers as your main event, what do you think that does for your product? What do you think it does for your entire pay-per-view? And I'm going to speak to AEW fans, not just a casual AEW fan. I'm talking about the AEW fans who literally come in their pants at the thought of Tony Khan or the Young Bucks. Okay? I'm talking to those fans. Everyone was livid with the Swerve and Mox ending of that match. Young Bucks coming out, the blackout. Let's be real, the bloodline bullshit that they did at WrestleMania. That's exactly a exact copy of what happened at WrestleMania last year with the bloodline and Cody. The lights turning out, who's coming in next, all these interferences. Stupid as fuck. It was a bloodline ripoff. And I shit on the bloodline. Trust and believe. I hate that whole cinema bullshit. I hate it. That's what AEW did. And the fact that AEW fans cannot compute that they literally just ripped off an WWE thing blows my mind. But whatever. Let me just move on. The Swerve and Mox finish was so poor. It was so undeserving. Stop building Swerve up, okay? Because Swerve is one of their great talents. I disagree with a lot of shit that Swerve says. Trust and believe. But Swerve is talented, okay? I personally think that you allowing Moxley creative control like you do is your death warrant. No pun intended, because the Death Riders fucking suck. I'm sorry, like, how are we having this conversation? The Death Riders angle has fallen completely flat. And AEW fans are justifying it, saying, oh, well, he's waiting for Darby to come back. Why did you let a guy that you want to win the title, take the title off of Mox, save AEW from the Death Riders? Why would you allow him to go for 4 months to climb Mount Everest? A hobby? Like, I get it. You want to be accommodating to your big superstars. That is not how you do it when you're putting your entire company, that title, you're going to put it on that guy, but you're going to say, oh, take your time off. Don't worry. The 4 months you want to go climb fucking Mount Everest, which, by the way, he might get hurt, because I like Darby, but he tends to get hurt outside of the ring more than he does in the ring. It is a risk. Why you would do that, I don't know. Maybe you want to seem like you're the cool boss. Again, I'm not in Tony Khan's mind. I don't fucking know what he's trying to do. Nonetheless, you have Hangman coming out to save Swerve. Great callback to one of the greatest rivalries in AEW. I think it's the greatest rivalry in AEW, okay? To do it so they can tag team with each other to go face the Young Bucks is dumb. Everyone on Twitter that saw the AEW dynasty, sorry guys, ending, all agreed it was such bullshit, and it was garbage, and it was a sham, and it was disgusting. It was like being punished. You were being punished for being an AEW fan. Because now we have how many more months of Mox being champion and doing absolutely nothing with it? A lot. Okay? A lot more months. Because when is Darby coming back? We don't know. I think that tag match, it will be good. Probably. Sure. I don't think it will be the greatest thing in the world. I do like the idea of Hangman and Swerve coming together. That's cool. To sacrifice your entire pay-per-view to do that story makes no sense. Sorry. Makes absolutely no sense. And the switch up of AEW fans who are so, that night that it aired, when the pay-per-view was live, everyone was livid. Now, oh my God. Well, they're just building Hangman and Swerve against the Young Bucks. They're no pun intended, coping with the fact that AEW has not been producing good main events. Do they produce great weekly television? Yeah, in terms of their matches, sure, there's good matches, there's great segments. They will build something 2 weeks before a pay-per-view. That's all I'm saying. And I know in the comments it'll be, well, they're building Hangman and Swerve teaming against each other now. Ugh, for All In. I get it. I'm not stupid. It just makes no sense. AEW can survive without the Young Bucks. They've kind of been showing it. Why not put the title on Swerve? Swerve proves that he can work with anybody and make them look great. He made Ricochet look like a star. And Ricochet is a star. And I've said this from the beginning. The only thing with Ricochet was his promos were a little not great. Okay? I did say that. And have I eaten my words? Because he's been killing it in the promos. So, I take it back. But he made Ricochet look great. I was at AEW Revolution, like I said. I heard the chants. I heard people interested. You know who I didn't, like, what match no one was interested in? Why don't you take a wild fucking guess what match that was? You want me to answer it? It was fucking Moxley and Cope. Nobody gave a fuck. That audience was dead during that match because it was garbage. I took a friend with me who has no, like, She has no idea about professional wrestling. She actually makes fun of me for watching professional wrestling, all that stuff. She watched that match, and I was embarrassed that I took her to this show. Well, actually, no. There was a lot of things that made up for it. But she was like, wow, she goes, see, it is fake. Look what they're doing. Because they botched so many things. It was messy. It did not look good. That was your main event. And it was trash. You know, we always say, like, Jericho needs to retire. And I do agree with that. Jericho needs to be gone. 1,000%. I think I'm not judging from that match. Maybe Cope needs to take a little retirement. I don't know if it was Cope or if it was Mox. They were not gelling with each other. It was an uncomfortable watch. Again, my point about the pay-per-views. It was I got to see Kenny Omega and Takeshita. I cried when Kenny Omega came out. There's a video of me crying when Kenny Omega came out. I'm obsessed with Kenny. I want to marry him. I want to love him. I think he's the greatest professional wrestler in the world. He's up there with CM Punk with me. Don't get it twisted. CM Punk is still my guy. But Kenny is a very close second. There was great matches with that. I even enjoyed the Costco guys match. That match was actually entertaining. I didn't mind it. I got to see Fletcher and Ospreay, which was incredible. I got to see so many great matches. It put a bad fucking taste in my mouth with that ending. I walked out really pissed. I mean, I didn't walk out. When the show was over, I left. But I was pissed. I was like, what kind of shit was that? It was horrible. Speaking about AEW, though, this is a little side note and a little bit of a tangent. I saw on Twitter some Twitter account making fun, or X, whatever, making fun of AEW's ticket prices. And I just want to say something really clear. I applaud AEW for their ticket pricing. The seats I had were incredible. They weren't too close, but they weren't too far. I paid $100 each for that ticket. That was something reasonable. If I got those seats for a WWE show, I would have been in the thousands. And that is not okay. Wrestling fans are average people. Some of them are average people. Not everyone's the green t-shirt guy, okay? Like, no one can afford to go to every pay-per-view, can go to everything. People live minimum wage. Some people do. I live with minimum wage. I make my life work. These things are a luxury for me. Spending $200 is pricey for me. WWE has fucking price gouged their fucking fans, and it's disgusting to see. If you're trying to advertise to the everyday person, don't make your tickets in the thousands. I wanted to go to WrestleMania. It was a dream for me to go to Mania. My biggest dream to go to Mania. I cannot afford to go to Mania. Even nosebleeds, okay? Nosebleeds are like $900. It is the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen. Make it affordable. What are you fucking doing? I don't know if it's WWE or that TKO, whatever company that bought WWE. It is insane to me. So I applaud AEW for making it reasonably priced because it makes people want to go and watch their product. That's all I'm going to say on the tickets. I do have another AEW. Again, this might be my introduction back, my reintroduction back. Is that a word? Whatever, reintroducing myself back to the pod, and my first live, and it might be just me bashing AEW. I'm sorry. Even though it was a while ago, I'm catching up on certain things. Mox and Cope with the spike in the back. Oh, God. I understand it. I think people who are so shocked by it, I was like, Mox does deathmatch wrestling. Like, he lives for that shit. Like, I'm sure it was his idea. It was a hard watch for me. And I'm a girl who loves old, like, 90s ECW. In my top 5 is Mick Foley. I think he's the greatest one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I love hardcore matches and things like that. I hate deathmatch wrestling. I don't think it's professional wrestling. Hot take, I don't think it's professional wrestling. Sorry. Like, it's just not. Deathmatch wrestling is not wrestling. I think it's just for people who want to see, like, just unfiltered violence. That's cool. I'm not judging. It's not my cup of tea. What I will say about the spikes in the back, it was fucking grotesque. And I get it. AEW's for the sickos, right? That's what it's known for. They cater to a certain part of an audience. But I think when you do that, you lose a huge chunk of audience. But AEW shouldn't just be for the sickos. If you want your company to succeed, you need to make it for everybody to watch. Get a little something for everyone. I think the stories are great. Storytelling has a lot to do with it, and I wouldn't mind an AEW love angle. Like, I know that sounds ridiculous, but it works. We've seen it time and time again work in WWE. Why can't it work in AEW? And before all you motherfuckers come for me, Kenny Omega has the same opinion as I do. Thank you. Okay, Kenny Omega also agrees. I'm talking like I know Kenny Omega. I don't. I just saw him say this in an interview or something. But I personally think, like, you shouldn't just cater to a certain group of fans. You should cater for all fans. That's just my opinion. Sorry. Anyway, so it was only a 20-minute pod, and I literally just shit on AEW, but I also shit on WWE. It's my shortest pod yet, but I just wanted to come back, say why I was gone, get thoughts that were in my head out to you guys. My first video pod. I never did this because I'm an insecure bitch, and also, like, I was really nervous. I live in a small space. I never had the space to do it. Luckily I made some, but yeah, so I'm back. So expect more video podcasts from me. It's been really fun to get back into it, talking shit with you guys. Love it. And thank you guys for all sticking around. This has been really fun. I know I was all over the place and my editing might be choppy. This is my first video pod, so take it easy on me, please. But this was really fun, and this was just a girly talking wrestling. Bye, guys.